What's going on, YouTube? We are back with a new series, and for all of you existing subscribers, this looks a little different than what I usually post. In addition to my Capitalism Lab and Middle Class Investor series, this is for all of my baseball fans out there. I know it's a little different and it goes against my name, the Wall Street Gamer, but this is near and dear to me. Out of the Park Baseball 22 was just released, and we are going to be starting our new rebuild as the Milwaukee Brewers. So this is probably more targeted to all of you that are searching for dynasties to watch as you embark on your own playthroughs, and I hope I can add some value for you and you enjoy the series. We are going to be, as I said, we're going to be rebuilding the Milwaukee Brewers, and I want to take some time to just go over series expectations. And as far as my channel, you should expect uploads every Sunday and Wednesday for this series alone, along with my two other series for existing subscribers. But I want to dive into a few of the settings that I changed as we start off. My expectations are that I'm going to show you kind of a preseason, beginning of the season video, a mid-season recap, and then a end of the season recap and/or playoffs, and then an off-season recap or playthrough. So about 4 episodes per season. Very similar to how shout out to Ryan Waldis and Straight Outta Boston as probably my two favorite Out of the Park Baseball series producers. And hopefully I can join them as well. I'm from Wisconsin. As I said, we're going to be taking on the Brewers, my favorite team. Going into game settings, the only thing I changed, I took off owner goals because I find them annoying and they don't actually add anything to the game. And some of them are unrealistic. I didn't change anything in the player's face gen. I mean, I took off baseball cards just because they take a long time to load. And I'm going to mess around with the development settings. I don't think they need to be tweaked yet, but we'll see how that plays, and I can change them as needed. I guess one of the probably bigger things that I changed was I got rid of the Rule 5 draft just because of personal preference. Sorry, not sorry. And that's about it for settings. I changed these to the real names. I disabled automatic evolution just because I like things how they are. And that's about it. So, what I want to do in this intro video, I want to go over kind of a team analysis and expectations on where we're headed. So 2021, there's a few different directions we could go just with our team comp. But I think we're going to enter more of a rebuilding mode. And we do have a few pieces that can help us win games. Christian Yelich, I'm looking at you. But other than that, I really think we're in a better place to just rebuild, because if we take a look at our minor league systems in the bottom third in the league, which is pretty disappointing. So we're going to look to really beef that up because we don't have a lot of talent in our farm system. But let's just go down the list and see what we can do with a few of these players. So right off the bat, Lorenzo Cain, our center fielder, he's 34. I'm going to probably look to flip him just because his contract, I mean, I think he's making 17, 18 mil for these last 2 seasons. Pretty expensive guy for, I mean, he's a good defender, and he's apparently, he has okay contact, or pretty good contact, but that's about it. He's just aging too much for us to want to keep. We brought over Colton Wong from the Cardinals in the offseason, and he's more of a utility guy. I don't really see him staying around long term, but until we find a replacement, he'll be that. Christian Yelich, obviously the star of our team. He's 29, so he's kind of in his prime as we speak. I don't think I'm going to move him. He just signed a very massive deal to stay in Milwaukee through 2028 at least, which is really exciting because I love him. He had a down 2020, but I'm really not going to judge any of our guys off their 2020 season just because I didn't. I think it's hard to take that from a small sample size. So hopefully he rebounds. Obviously, the guy that we're going to look to build around, Keston Hiura as well, I think is a really young, promising star. If he puts up numbers like he did in 2019, he'll play first base. I want to see his contact improve because he hit over 300 in 2019, which is good, but he fell off last year. Again, hard to judge based off the shortened season, but we'll see what happens with him. I like him. I think he's an athletic guy, and he's a decent defender with decent speed. And I think he's sticking around for a while. Yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of team control. Moving on, Jackie Bradley, one of those guys that kind of just fills the role. We brought him over from the Red Sox. 30 years old. He's a really great defender, and he actually has a Gold Glove under his belt. So, he'll help the defense a little bit. But that's about it. I don't really expect him to do that much. He hit 283 last year. If he hits that again this year, that's over my expectations. But we will see. Arias, I mean, he's young, hasn't really developed the way I hoped. Doesn't have that much experience in the majors yet. Probably just filling that role. I wanted to see Arcia here, actually. I don't know. By default, Luis is in that starting role, which is fine. We can make some adjustments, but expect him to kind of trade places with Arcia throughout at least his first season. Omar and Jacob Nottingham, yeah, neither one's great. He was actually kind of horrendous last year. But if he puts up 2019 numbers, I would be more than satisfied. I'm not expecting that. That's why he's at the bottom of the lineup. Probably look to make some sort of replacement or a draft pick in the upcoming draft. And then Daniel Robertson, just another utility guy. So there's a lot of holes on this offense that I kind of want to fix, building around these two mostly, with the rest replaceable if it has to be. Moving on to our rotation. Woodruff and Burns are the two that I'm most enthusiastic about. If they both, well, Burns had a really good 2020. Woodruff did not. Well, he was okay. His ERA was still about 3. But I'm hoping these two will lead the rotation. I mean, 28 and 26, they're kind of in their prime now. But we might look to use them as trade pieces in a few years. Not yet. I think we'll keep them for now. The bottom half of our rotation is really more up for grabs, though. Expect Freddie Peralta to come in and maybe get some time. His stamina is not where it wants to be, but I think he could be okay in the rotation, especially if one of these 3 guys start to struggle. Brett Anderson and Josh Lindblom are 2 guys that I'll definitely put on the trade block. They're in their upper or low 30s, so I think they're past their prime. Try to flip them for... I turned draft picks or trading for draft picks on just because I thought that would be a little more fun. And yeah, so these 2 guys are, I mean, really anyone in this rotation is replaceable. And then our ace, Josh Hader, leading the bullpen, another guy we want to build around. He's only 26, so I don't know how much team control he has left. Only 3 years of service, yeah. Making around $6 million a season. We might look to extend that what we can for the cheapest we can. And I mean, the rest of this bullpen is... Devin Williams is really good, though. He actually won Rookie of the Year somehow. In 2020, I didn't even know that. But yeah, so these 2 guys, stars of the bullpen. Everyone else, replaceable. Am I missing anything? That's where we're looking right now. Somehow we made the playoffs last year. But we've really struggled to capitalize, and hopefully we can turn that around this year. So, sorry, Craig Counsell, but I've taken over as GM. I know there's some new coaching options available. Yeah, the staff roles. This is new. I'm not going to mess with this yet, but this is really fascinating. I'm going to see what I can do. We might do some tweaking. I do, right off the bat, I think I want to hire a better... I want to make one change. And with that being my scouting director. Goodbye. Let's sort by not team trainer. I want to see how... Okay. Highly favors tools, highly favors ability. I would say this is probably more important to me. So Shiro might become our scouting director. I don't really care about scouting the majors or minors even. I'm looking forward for those international and amateurs that we can hopefully find. So I'm going to go with Shiro. Let's offer him a deal. That would be really nice to get. Is this new? No, I don't. So that's the one move we're going to make as far as personnel. Here's a better look at our salaries and what to expect. So Kane, again, like I said, we're going to try to move him. And maybe Manny Pena. Even Garcia kind of has an expensive contract. So Yeah, okay, that's fine for now, though. Mark Atanasio is our owner. He's an economizer, which is okay. He's demanding. I turned off owner goals. This doesn't really matter that much. I guess there's a chance we get fired, but hopefully not. Otherwise, this would be a pretty short series. I like our team chem too. A lot of leaders on this team, so I think our clubhouse should be at least content for the majority of the season. A lot of bad relationships though with Pat Murphy. We could look to fire him and replace him with someone better. We do have a pretty young person. I mean, that's what I was kind of debating too. I mean, our personnel, we could just start fresh and establish some sort of foundation, especially with a new GM and manager coming on. Me, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Actually, sorry, Pat. Appreciate what you done. Goodbye. I would like someone with excellent relationships. I think that's the most important thing. The rest of this is it's okay, but I just want good relationships. We're gonna look to sign bench coach there, so that's looking good. Anything else that we have to do, at least in this intro video? Really, just getting the team ready for opening day. I want to see what OOTP thinks we should do. Yeah, we have RC up here. Ugh. Surprisingly performing. Our pitching staff looks fine. I'm not going to change any of this yet. I'm going to see kind of how these guys play out. I'm surprised Garcia isn't in the starting lineup. Give Jackie Bradley instead. And Kane. If any of these struggle, though, this can easily be switched. I'm just not going to mess with it yet. So I think that covers kind of the direction we want to head. Expect opening day in the next episode on Wednesday. I hope you all are looking forward to this series. I know this is a shorter video, but I just want to give it an intro on what we can do with this team. So we look forward to it. I'm excited. I hope all of you are excited, and I will see you next time.